everybody. Welcome back to the Film Buds podcast. This is episode number
130.
130.
Yeah, now that I'm on it, I'm going to be on it forever.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Not the podcast, the episode number.
Yeah.
Fire me whenever you want.
No, never. And my name is Henry.
I'm Chloe.
And we got a great show for you this time. Yeah. We have a review, firstly, of Uncut Gems, the new A24 Safdie Brothers film that is now on Netflix.
Yeah, for people who don't understand the Southern accent, Uncut Gems.
Did I sound super Southern there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Funny.
Uncut Gems. Is that better?
No.
Okay. Well, and then we also have a review of Jesse Eisenberg's Resistance, which is the new World War II drama on VOD. And then we have a fair bit of news to talk about. We have, of course, the Amazon's Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series coming out.
Oh, wow.
We got the Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese film going to Apple Plus, or I don't know what it's called, just Apple Productions, and also what's some other stuff? I know there's some other stuff.
I gotta save the last month of my gift card for when it comes out.
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pressure's on.
Yeah. And I guess
gotta
maybe
finish defending Jacob real quick.
Yeah. And then I guess also just recently the Ryan Gosling casting as Wolfman.
No idea. As what?
Wolfman.
What's that? Like Michael J. Fox over here?
No, like the Invisible Man.
What?
Like the Universal Monsters films. Wolfman. The man who becomes a wolf.
I don't know.
You know, like Frankenstein, the Invisible Man.
Frankenstein is not in any of y'all's universes. You know I love Frank. He's my guy. He's a real one.
But like the 1930s Universal Monsters. That's what I mean.
Is that a thing? Universal Monsters?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay.
Yeah. And so we'll get to that.
Frank, he never had a TV show or anything. What are you talking about?
So there was,
except for like the freaking monsters and stuff, doesn't really count.
So I mean, like there was Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, and the Wolfman, and others.
I'm with you. I know that those are like the canon. Also a ghost in a sheet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Halloween. The Halloweenies.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, so that's what that is.
Man, I think it's gonna be terrible.
I don't know. We'll see.
But who am I? Yeah.
We'll see. And then we have, a listener question.
What does he do?
It's like a horror film, like the Invisible Man was, and yeah, he's just a wolf that does his thing,
There's tons of those already. Whatever, keep it moving. I'd rather watch Chamber Secrets, watch Hermione turn into half a cat. Okay,
fair enough. and we have other stuff we watched, all the usual stuff. So thank you so much again for joining us. Now, we do say it every week, but this week in particular, we hope everyone out there is staying safe. It's been quite a week.
Yeah.
And probably we'll have the same outcome this following week, but we will see. And also, we do have a handful of in-house stuff to talk about.
What we should call it?
I have no idea, actually.
I don't remember. Ooh, I liked it.
Shoot. So just bear with us. It's all good stuff. So we do have a Patreon page if you have not been there yet at patreon.com/thefilmbuds. And that will be in the show notes as well as at thefilmbuds.com. So please, if you haven't already, and thank you to the people who have donated. Very kind of you.
Thanks.
Just helps support the show and all that. So it's very, very kind. Then the other big thing that we teased on the last show that will be put into this episode and from here on out.
I'm with y'all, audience.
Yeah, we now have a sponsor that which is Dunn Manufacturing here in North Carolina. Yeah. And they've been making thousands of safety masks for the COVID-19 cause. And so
they converted their warehouse or whatever production. I was going to say production studio. That ain't it.
Yeah. And
whatever it's called.
Yeah, factory. Close enough.
Factory.
Yeah. And so we will have a few short ads just sprinkled throughout the shows. And the important note is if you buy them through us, all the proceeds will go to COVID-19 charities. So if you can, we'd appreciate it if you would use the contact info that he gives in the in the ads for that.
And I'm panicking.
Oh, sorry. And
Hello.
we'll put that in the show notes. So there's plenty of ways you can do it. And thanks again to Mark Dunn for setting all that up.
And for doing good things.
Yeah. And lastly, this is we're almost done. As I told Chloe about, I now have a new YouTube series. I went solo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a friend of mine from college.
You went solo. Dang.
Yeah.
This is a call out.
No, I mean nothing. I mean, it's not a podcast, so it's not,
I'm just joshing. So
okay. A friend of mine from college messaged me out of the blue and said, "Hey, you should try doing film video essays."
That's awesome.
And now, if you've listened to the show, I hate film video essays. I hate them. But I said, "Hey," but I said, "Hey,"
I love the sound of my voice.
Exactly. No, I said, "Hey, let's give it a shot." And I realized I enjoy making them. I may not watch them a lot on my own, but I really enjoy the editing process, as you do, Chloe, I think, with the Film Buds video podcast.
Usually.
Yeah. And
I got to get some actual editing software again.
Yeah, same here.
I'm so over iMovie. Oh, my God.
Me too.
Ugh. I'm pissed Final Cut, left me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Left this world.
Yeah. So it's called Beyond the Film, and it's on YouTube. And we are setting up a Facebook and Instagram page. And
amazing.
So it's just little short film analysis videos. So please check that out and subscribe, all that jazz. It's just a fun little side project to do. I think that's about it. Chloe,
y'all should do one too. Well, side projects.
Yeah.
And let Henry's go-getterisms inspire you.
Yes. Well, Chloe, how are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm a lot less busy than you, but, that's okay. I'm, not bad. I found out that my grandpa was mayor of a town in Germany, so that was fun.
Oh, wow.
That's all I have to give you.
Wow.
Yeah. We're not German or anything, but my dad slipped that in while we were watching Catch-22. He was like, "Oh yeah, Bob was a mayor. My grandpa was you know what I mean." It's gonna go really well today. Hello, buddies. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have a story, but I don't know. But that's awesome. The video essay is great, Henry.
Oh,
and
thank you.
It's also like the idea that you don't like most of them is maybe because you're supposed to make your own, and other people who haven't found one they like, they haven't found their glass slipper yet.
Yeah.
Well, Henry, you're a glass slipper, my guy.
There you go. Maybe so.
For some people,
I've always wanted that.
Yeah.
And I guess my biggest issue with them is that they're too long. Uh-huh. And so the one I made that's out
that's why
is
keep our podcast so tight.
Exactly. It's about 2.5 minutes, and I actually have a second one coming out, I guess, in the next week.
Oh my
and it's
word.
About 3 minutes. It's probably will be once a week.
Tell me what it is, but you don't have to tell them. But tell me.
It's
well,
about
you should
birds.
Tell them.
It's about birds of prey.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And so yeah, and it's it's very short and sweet. But I think that the information is there. And so I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah. I love watching movie break, as you know.
Yeah. And
Anatomy of a Scene is my jam. I love it.
Yeah. And I guess it maybe is just because we do all these podcasts and we're already talking about movies so much that going and seeking that out is just something I don't always feel the need to do. Although there are plenty of great ones out there. It's just, personal taste. But I hope this one, is helpful to people.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's it. Could
be DOA. I don't know.
Oh, yes. That took me a minute.
Yeah,
Not
we'll
really
see.
familiar. Dead on Arrival, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
When does that... Okay, whatever.
We'll see.
Is it like pigeon... Or not pigeons. Is it like the doves people use at their weddings and stuff? Those can be DOA? And then it's really awkward?
Maybe. I don't know if that would be the direct comparison. But anyhow. And also, Chloe, it's great to see you. I haven't
too,
said.
Henry.
It's great to see you. I miss you.
You too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has.
Weird.
All right. Well,
let's just dive in. We got
okay. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Let's get into our first review, which is
I can't remember. Oh, Uncut Gems.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we do have a clip, as Chloe said.
And for the Southerners who don't understand me, here's a clip.
Take a listen.
How you doing, Holly? How's it going? How are you?
Good Pesach out.
All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back.
I made a crazy risk, a gamble, and it's about to pay off.
So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds.
What do you know?
I don't know. I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. That's the dumbest fucking bet I ever heard of.
I disagree.
Okay, Uncut Gems. Sorry for butchering that.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you self-conscious. I feel terrible.
No, it's okay.
I like it. I like it. It's because I feel so distant from my... Like, I'm Southern, and people don't believe... This is like the most... asinine issue one could have, but like almost every day under normal circumstances, like when I'm out and about, which is not recently, obviously, people are always like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Here," and they're like, "No, like where are you born?" I'm like, "Here." Oh,
yeah. I have that issue sometimes as well.
Well, you got to say gem more.
Yeah. Say, have you seen Uncut Gems?
Yeah. Always ask them, start every conversation with, "Hi, I'm Henry. Do you have a pen I can use?"
Yeah.
And you'll say pen, and it'll be, it'll put a pen in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's pen. Yeah.
Yeah. And mystery solved.
You're welcome.
Well, so as
Mr.
we said.
Sandman. That's what song you should use for the intro. Mr.
I should.
Sandman. Actually, I don't like that song, do I? I'm a narcoleptic. It's a problem.
Wait, hang on. Yeah.
Did you freeze?
Yeah, I'm...
Oh.
Okay.
Mom, I'm recording. Yeah?
Yeah, okay. So, Uncut Gems is on Netflix now. And it's directed by Benny Safdie and Josh Safdie.
Josh. I love, Benny.
Yeah. And it stars Adam Sandler, Julia Fox, Idina Menzel. Who else we got here? The Weeknd's in it. Lakeith Stanfield.
Did you freeze or are you reading?
Man, the names are way off
froze.
here.
Perfect. Let it go.
Can you got me?
Yeah, you're fine now.
Can you see me now? Okay.
I can.
Any other names, Chloe, that come to mind?
I don't know what you said because you froze, so you did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Did you say Lakeith?
I did.
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, you're fine.
And the synopsis is, with his debts mounting and angry collectors closing in, a fast-talking New York City jeweler risks everything in hope of staying afloat and alive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this one came out, I guess, maybe in fall of last year, maybe late last year, at least.
You haven't, well, whatever, yeah. Last year.
Yeah. the Safdie brothers previously did Good Time, which we did review very early on in the show. I don't think you were there that week, though, Chloe.
I wasn't.
Yeah, it was just Braden.
It was a bro fest.
Yeah. I had very curious about this one, though. I missed it in the theater, but I heard very good things about it.
Mixed things. I couldn't believe, right?
Yeah.
People like I was under the impression from the reception at its theatrical height, that like it was absolutely gnarly, because apparently a bunch of people walked out and like that kind of thing. Like people were like, it's grotesque and terrible and like all this stuff, right? And I was thinking, by the response, like on the festival circuit and everything, I was under the impression it was like an entire movie of the elevator scene in Drive. Like that's what I thought was going on. Well, because everyone was like, it was grotesque and terrible and like whatever. Do you remember that?
I think so. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe not as vividly as you, but I yeah. Anyways.
And so that was my impression going in, and I was like, but that is not what happened. I don't understand why so many people walked out at all.
Yeah. Well, Chloe, were you a fan of Good Time?
It's very sad.
Yes.
But it's well done.
Yeah.
We love our Pats.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. But I've also seen some of their other or at least one other thing. I've seen, this sounds so lame, I've seen a part of Daddy Longlegs, because I'm lame and only have seen part. And I was like, watch the rest of some other time. This is sad. And then I've also seen, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's about the lady. Heaven Knows What. That's it. Which is so weird. It's almost like, we all know I love me, that movie I can't think of the name of, with Evan Peter. American
Animals?
Yes, thank you so much. We all know, so it's kind of like that, because it's like half documentary, half dramatization kind of thing.
Yes.
But it's all in the same world. Should I get into the backstory of the movie or later?
That's up to you.
Maybe it's a good, because I'm talking about the other stuff I've seen.
Okay. Yeah,
like,
go for it.
Heaven Knows What. Have you seen it?
I've only seen this and Good Time.
Good Time, yeah. So Good Time was like their launching point, but they've been trying to get Uncut Gems. They had been trying to get Uncut Gems made for 11 years. That it was their intention was to have it as their kind of initial release. It's based on someone their dad worked for in the Diamond District. And it was like their first movie idea. And all the reason I bring all this up now is because all their other movies came from like research for Uncut Gems, which is really interesting because it took the longest to get made. But so like if you know Heaven Knows What, it's like in the same world and all this stuff. It's because they were literally like doing research for Uncut Gems, and like Good Time was, and they rewrote the script for Uncut Gems like 160 times or whatever, and so Good Time was like taken off of like a 10-minute somebody was. So one of the executives I went to a long time ago was like, oh, well, if you make a whole movie of like just this like heist bit, like I'll do that. And they're like, nah. But then they kind of did, So anyway, so basically they really wanted Adam Sandler the whole time, and they were like, they couldn't get through to him. And then he saw Good Time and gave him a call. So I just think it's really interesting and wonder where they'll go from here, knowing that literally their entire filmography professionally has been based around Uncut Gems, like this movie.
Yeah, and well, they did just sign a first look deal with A24 and HBO, so I think they've got some.
Awesome.
I think because of this, they've really gotten some backing.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. Like, it's just so. The idea is so interesting to me that, like, literally all the movies they've made have been like due to an obsession with this particular movie getting made for like over a decade, and that's just kind of wild. So I wonder where they're gonna go, especially since they're both grounded in it, because it's based on their like a part of their childhood. So they'll probably stick with that. I would think.
With all that being said, what did you think of the film?
That is a great question, Henry. I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, how do I say? Obviously, it's a very anxious time in the world anyway, if you give two cruds about anything. So I'm already like there, right? But this movie, I've not had so much anxiety watching a movie since like Steve Jobs, or not Steve Jobs. What's it called? Jobs?
Steve
the Aaron
Jobs.
Sorkin one.
Yeah.
You know, there's two of the same. Okay.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, the Fasty one. Like, the Winslet one, really. She still got robbed at the Oscars. I'm sorry, Alicia.
Well,
oh my God, that's so crazy because, you know, married and everything, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, that whole movie did, really.
Oh, completely, but especially Kate Winslet, I think. But anyway, but like this movie, like, get ready. Like, but I don't understand, again, I don't understand why are we doing spoilers? I guess it doesn't really, well, at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. But without giving anything away, I guess, like, it's just a big ball of, like, yeah,
it's
like, and it's made worse by the fact that he's, like, an anti-hero. Like, he's no Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
You're just not, you're like, oh my God. It's just, you're just so anxious. And it's like, this could so easily be a comedy if they changed, like, the tone. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, are you kidding me with this? Which is obviously why it was so memorable from their this person they just heard about from their childhood. But, like, yeah, I mean, but the acting's good. I think not everyone, but, like, you know, hashtag punch drunk love. If Adam Sandler's given the opportunity, he takes it.
Yeah, as I've said before, when he's good, there's nothing better. Like, when he's in a movie that he's great in, it's hard to beat.
He also got robbed. He didn't even get nominated.
Yeah.
But that's because Hollywood doesn't like messy things. So, anyway, but yeah, I thought it was really well, at the very least, even if I didn't love the content, but I get it, but, you know, whatever. It was very well composed. And it had really good pace and everything. And it was very clear to understand, I think, even, which sounds stupid, but, like, it's very claustrophobic. but and kind of manic just because of the plot and the characters. But you're never, like, lost in the sauce. Like, you know the story all the way through despite all the mishigas, like, stuff that should not make any sense. You know what I mean? And I just thought I really liked, like, I guess for lack of a better term, like the act breaks and stuff. I just thought it was really, really well put together. I thought the acting was solid, except I'm so sorry. I didn't like the newcomer, that girl, the lady, the woman. Oh,
the girlfriend?
Yeah. I thought she was by far the weakest link, especially on, like, there's, like, one, like, very emotional scene where Adam Sandler's, like, giving it his all, and she's, like, you know, trying to, I don't know, girl should have put some onion juice on her fingers and put it up to her eye or something. She wasn't even giving us tears, okay? They had to do that thing where they cut, and they come back, and she's crying, okay? That's some eye drop nonsense, you know? I'm just saying. So that I didn't like. I see why she's, like, the vibe for the role, but I just thought she fell so flat. I thought that could have been a way better. Think about, like, that is, like, one of the classic Oscar performances for, like, you know, for lack of a better word, like, actresses and
right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't like her, but I'm even thinking, like, at the height, kind of, not to say that I won't, you know. Whatever. Thus far, the height of Jennifer Lawrence's career, that would be a role that she would totally play.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like very juicy. It's a
I mean,
very
it's
juicy
almost
role.
it was almost like the American Hustle role. It was like a smaller role, but she was very,
Yeah.
and it's
very pulpy and everything.
very in that vein. Yeah.
I just think that like that very easily could have been out of any in the movie, actually, like even more than Adam Sandler, because he doesn't want to play it up too much, because then it won't seem serious and everything and like whatever. But I think that could have been like the runaway performance if it was given to, I don't know, somebody who could do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of sucked, but because I was really wanting that. But other than that, I thought it was really solid. It's not like, I mean, it's not like my favorite movie. It's not my deal. Very stressful. And like, I get what it's saying and everything pretty easily. It was just, like I said, it was beautifully crafted and everything. It's like one of those where you really can admire, like I said, like the craft in every way. It's just not super my deal, as one might think. Like, I'm not mad I watched it, but I'm not watching it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think every part of it was really well done. I love the score. Score is like incredible.
Score is amazing, yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, and the entrance into the movie is like incredible.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of documentaries about, you know, that dirty underbelly of the world. So I was, I don't know. I was happy, as it were, to see it in a movie like this because it's very real. Which is, I saw a really good documentary about it with my father, but I can't remember the name. But maybe I'll find out and tell you later. But anyway.
Yeah. No, I thought Good Time. I liked it a fair bit. Not as much as a lot of people that I talked to seem to feel about it, but I was immediately struck by the style of it, and it was just very clearly a unique voice and style, and so I was very curious about.
But not on purpose per se.
No,
like not for the sake of it, which I think is so important.
Right.
Coen Brothers.
I disagree about that, but what was I saying? So going into this movie, I had heard very good things, as I mentioned. I agree with everything you said. The craft is there, and the performances, especially Adam Sandler. I don't know why The Weeknd was in this. He's in it for like 5 seconds.
Oh, so annoying.
Yeah,
I
just
hate that.
Cut that. I actually
dumb.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah, but even with that being said, I didn't love the movie. I actually found the first half to be much more tiresome than compelling. I'm fine with it being overwhelming and anxiety-inducing, but I just found, maybe it was just because I didn't find the world that interesting, or I don't see why I really felt the need to become emotionally attached to it, which, I mean, this is very much, as opposed to you, I like this kind of movie, and so I enjoyed the second half a lot more, especially the third act. I thought was amazing. But for the first, maybe, I don't know how long it is, maybe the first hour and 15 minutes, I was kind of getting bored with it.
It's long.
Yeah, I was getting a little bored and a little tired of it, and so I like Good Time more than this, and I don't love it as much as a lot of critics and audiences seem to. But as you said, the score is amazing, and as well as the score in Good Time was great.
Same lady.
Yeah.
Or dude. Same person.
Yeah.
Same person.
It does create a momentum that is pretty constant and
it like acts as a narrator, and I love that.
Yeah.
It's like a chorus.
Yeah.
Shakespeare style.
Yeah, and one thing with their movies that goes into what we've talked about is their sound design is very aggressive.
Oh my God, it hurt.
Yeah, there's always someone either talking, or the score is blaring, or there's, ambient sounds of the city.
Layers.
Yeah, going, and so you never really get a break for the most part. But that's one thing about the style is I thought it was best in its quietest moments for the most part. I thought some of the quieter parts of the film were better for me, at least.
Yeah, but I don't think you can have those without the other ones. Like, I don't think... Do you know what I mean?
I agree. It's just that...
And they were done really well, so... Like, it was all real. They went out and actually... Like in college, did you ever have to go record white noise and then different bird sounds and stuff like that? Oh my god! Fun fact: the bird noises in most movies don't make sense because apparently those birds would never be around at the same time.
Makes sense. But I didn't think that the louder moments were bad. It's just that I think they went on a little too long, even just on an entertainment level. I didn't really get a whole lot from that. But
I think they were just trying to be true to form. Yeah.
But the presentation of this character of Adam Sandler, who's just like every moment of his life is decided by bargaining and betting, is very new and
he's chaotic neutral.
Yeah. It's so unpredictable in that way because everything he's going to do is decided by that kind of action and trying to see what he can get out of people and then deceiving people and just trying to survive moment to moment because you could easily see someone just coming up to the street and shooting him. He's just ripped off so many people and cheated so many people that you never really know who's going to do what, which I thought was well done.
And they're all doing it, which makes it more interesting.
I thought that the third act in dealing with the whole basketball game, I thought that was probably the most interesting just because it is dealing with this like real time game and all that.
And literally too. Again, it speaks to how well they crafted it. Like those are actual game. Like they were going around basketball teams and players and everything, and they settled finally with Kevin Garnett, and they like actually did the games and the right, that kind of, which is very in right now, that mentality.
Yes.
Lighthouse style. Like people are loving that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I thought one of the best scenes in the film was the auction. Where it's kind of just going back and forth. I thought that was might have been my favorite of the whole movie. It's even again, even though I didn't love it, it really sticks with you. And even though I may not have loved every moment of it, it's just, as we talk about a lot on the show, it is nice to see someone with such a distinct style come through.
Yeah. And I think it's so well put together, like even like attached to style, which is important, but like can grind my gears sometimes. Like beyond that, it was so. I know you thought it was boring and stuff, so maybe we differed here, but I think it was so well composed, like put together, just like I'm saying, like it had so much craftsmanship in like every department. I think it was like I completely see the high level of craft there. I'm not by no means saying it was poorly made. It's just that the style of that craft in this situation didn't totally sell it for me. I know that coming from them, every moment was thought through and done with very utmost precision. It's just that it didn't totally work for me all the time, or as much as Good Time did. Yeah. But it's so gritty and strange and it's. But to me, it also feels really grounded at the same, which is so weird. Like it like goes back and forth. It's like the nastiest, like warehouse rave of Narnia. It's like it goes between like normal world and you step through the closet and you're like, do I have tetanus now? Like, which I think is very impressive because it feels totally like real and natural, which is pretty cool. Like I thought, like I loved, and this one might also be why it's more, we all know, like, I don't know if you know, Henry, but I'm Jewish.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
No, this is like the Jewiest episode I love a Jewy episode. We have
Sure.
so many, but this is definitely a very Jew-heavy episode.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be talking about Menashe later, so,
Come on. I mean, wow.
Is that the correct pronunciation, Chloe?
No.
What is it?
I don't know, but that was French over there. I don't remember what the actual name is, but it's definitely not that.
It's Menashe.
Oh, probably Menashe.
Menashe? Okay. That's what I thought originally. But then a character says it differently in the movie.
Oh, well, then I'm probably wrong.
I don't know. Hey, I'll trust you.
It's probably pronounced Menashe, so.
Okay.
That's not true.
Oh, well. And we'll get to it. We'll get to it later.
I love it. I can call my sister if you want. But, well, it also depends on the accent and the region and whatever. Is it Yiddish or Hebrew? It's Yiddish or
Yiddish.
Hebrew? Oh, well, that's a whole kettle of fish, okay? But, anyway. Oh, yes. So, I think it's a little more relatable to me. Oh, this is going to get so bad. I got to be a little PC here.
That's okay.
This is like... Okay. Oh, boy. How do I say this? Okay. The place where it gets complicated is like, as you know, Judaism is both a religion and a culture, right? Like we've been the same group of people for, thousands of years. Mm-hmm. So in that, it gets a little dicey when talking about, because there's, I mean, it's not PC at all, but there's like, to a Jewish person, there's like types of Jew. There's like expressions and stuff, you know what I mean? And
the one thing we should mention, Chloe, if for people who have listened to the show a lot, is you were wary about going into this movie because of the trailer.
The trailer pissed me right on off. Yeah.
Did that?
I stand by that. I stand by that the trailer pissed me off. It's not bad in the context of the movie, but the trailer uses that as like a punchline, and that really bothers me. In the trailer, the like last thing in the trailer that's supposed to be like comedic, it's clearly supposed to be a punchline, comedic, is someone's like, oh, what's that dude's deal? And then Lakeith Stanfield's just like, he's just a crazy Jew. And it's like, that's not cool. Like, that does not fly because, it shouldn't be a punchline. And in the context of the movie, it works really well. Like, that's kind of what I'm saying. Which is why actually I'm having a problem relaying what I'm trying to describe about the culture and everything, because it all has to be contextualized. Like, it's the life I've always lived and been surrounded by, which is why it makes more sense to me as like, so of the Safdie brothers, and so Safdie brothers, and so like that line contextually makes a lot of sense because it's what they're surrounded by, right? Mm-hmm. So, but in the scheme of the world and our country and everything, where anti-Semitism and stereotypes are very prevalent, I think it's irresponsible to have cut that the way the trailer did.
Yeah.
I think that was not cool. It didn't make me feel good. Made me feel bad.
Yeah. Now I agree completely, but it should be said, I doubt the Safdie brothers did that trailer themselves. Do you think?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I always have I love The Holiday. I have a problem with trailers in general. You know The Holiday?
Jude Law?
With Jude Law?
Cameron
Diaz. Yes. Mm-hmm. Cameron Diaz is a trailer cutter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they make tons of fun of trailers. Always suck. They're always trying to just get people into the seats, which again is kind of, I don't know, why is a Jew getting people in the seat? But yeah, no. I know they didn't do that, cut themselves. Trailers always, a lot of times they suck. But yeah, no. But in the context of the movie, it totally made sense, and that is like, a part of Jewish culture that's just like, oh boy. Like, again, it's not even Jewish culture. It's like, again, there's like, I don't want to get into it because it's too hard to explain. There's factions. If you know, you know. But like what they spoke about is true. And I really admired that they showed like him in the two sides of his life, and it didn't have to do with him. They made it really clear that his behavior didn't have to do with him being Jewish. It was almost like which is, you know, all the stereotypes, like Jews like love money and like cheating people and whatever like that. But this shows that he's like, what he's leaving behind, as it were, as like far as what he's focusing on, what he's caring about is his family. And it's like I've never seen like Search for an Afikoman in a movie except for like the freaking Sesame Street Passover movie. Is it Sesame Street? Yeah, which is dope, in case anyone's wondering. It's the best.
Okay.
But it's like Indiana Jones, but the Passover story with Sesame Street. It's wonderful.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I'll give it a poke.
Give it a poke. But yeah, I've never seen anyone search for the Afikoman before, and especially like they didn't really reference it. Like people were probably like, "What the heck is this?" Like, did you understand what's going on? You might know, but
I mean,
they're like, "I found this," and it's just like, I have no idea.
It rang a bell, but I would not be able to tell you exactly. No.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love that it speaks to both sides, because like they are there, especially like in that, oh god, like my bat mitzvah, for example, was super low key, like very nice and everything, but like again, of course you can't speak generalizations, but like especially up north, there's like a you know, like the show like that was on, I don't know, VH1 or MTV, one of those channels, like the Sweet 16 things. Whatever, where it's like my super sweet 16.
Yeah, my favorite show.
Oh my god, Jennifer Lawrence, throwback. She was on the commercial for that. Sorry.
Oh, was
anyway,
she? Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, but like the whole thing is like it's supposed to be very showy, and like the ones I've been to is like, this is wild. Like it's more than like a wedding, and it's like absolutely crazy and all that stuff. So like that side definitely is there. Especially in like, you know, New Jersey, New York and everything. So it's like, okay, so I'm glad they just did it. I mean, and it's their life, so like, duh. But they did a really good job of like evening it all out, and like the kind of, you know, talking about Pesach, but also then like getting beaten up for like owing someone like like $1 trillion. Like, could you bet on a game? Like, it's wild. So, and I like that there's an underlying sense of community you see like through the pawn shop people and then the jewelers and that little thing. Like everyone's like, are you okay? Like, but are you okay? You know, like he's definitely the exception, but also it makes sense. Like, yeah, he's just a wild little bouncy ball. He's just bouncing all over. He's like his own little world, and he's bouncing all over the place, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And we won't go into it, but the end is just beautiful.
It's
just perfect. It's so perfect. Like, as far as the quote-unquote moral of the story, as it were, like, which again, this movie's not really preachy in any way. It's just saying, like,
that's gonna happen.
Like, you can, if you're in a situation, if you put yourself in, like, in an immoral place, or a place without morals, then even if you know, win, as it were, there's no fair and square. You live in a realm of no fair and square. So, like, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So I thought that was beautiful. And I thought it was really well executed too. But like the whole movie was. So yeah, I mean, I can't complain about it, even if I didn't really like it, just because I thought it did such a good job of everything it tried to do. I really did.
Yeah, and
the female characters were very strong.
Yeah. What did you think of Idina Menzel?
I thought she was great.
I thought she was good too.
I really did. I thought she was so good. She was.
What's the name that John Travolta said? How did he say it?
Oh God! Oh my God! Adele.
Something. But
bulimia or something. Yeah. I have no idea, but it was terrible.
Yeah, I liked her a fair bit in this, and I feel as though
she told them she, quote, didn't want to play a bitch, which I loved. Like she wanted to be a caring mother and everything, and like I loved that they didn't try to prop him up by bringing her down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and I feel even just the whole movie in general, it will go up on a rewatch You know, even though I don't have a lot of interest right now in rewatching this, just because it is so unsettling.
Yeah.
But when I do get around to it, I do feel as certain things will fit together more. But on this first viewing, I was a little bit underwhelmed.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
What?
I think it's could be considered like an instant classic, just again because the way it was like, it's very reminiscent of like Goodfellas and stuff. Not exact, like it's very Scorsese to like old Scorsese to me over anything else, or like very Sidney New. If Martin Scorsese and Sidney Lumet had like little baby boys, they'd be the Safdie brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like very Sidney Lumet to me. Like a little bit of Dog Day Afternoon, but also oh God, that other one. We're a movie podcast. You're welcome. But anyway,
yeah.
And now a word from our sponsor. But
I even though I personally did not love the movie, I can see why people love it. You know, like as we've said, the style is there, and so if it clicks for you, it's gonna click. Yeah, it's gonna keep on clicking.
Yeah, because to me the substance is there as well, even though again not really my deal, but like it comes off. What I meant was like it's like a Goodfellas, but also like not to be too much, but also like Shakespearean to me. Like it's one of those where you can tell the story like you're not just there for like the happy ending or the twist ending, which could make it less good on rewatch. It's like a whole it's like a deep dive into a mindset and you know, moral quandary and all this stuff, which is why it's so, I think, is so rewatchable, because it's not just like means to an end as far as the plot and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big ideas in there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anything else you want to mention?
No.
All right.
Solid.
Yeah.
And not the elevator scene from Drive.
Not at all.
It had tons of walkouts and stuff. I don't understand, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stressful, but maybe it was like Florida Project type walkouts. I don't know.
Could be. All right. Well, out of 5, I think it's right now. It's finishing the movie. It's a 3.5. It may be a little low for some people, but that's how that first viewing went. Everybody.
Well, Henry, this is a twist. What comes to my mind,
please,
is simply an 8.
Yeah. Cool.
So
yeah, there you go.
I'm also seeing wood, like blocks, like a block of Mm-hmm.
Is the 8 on it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
All right.
A lot of industrial materials.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on then. Let's get to our second review, which is Resistance, currently on VOD.
Do you have to put in a thing for the thing?
I'm just gonna be kind of just like it when there are natural stopping points in
like this.
For the best way to stay cool, calm, and protected this summer, please review our products at sweatmagic.com. I'm Mark Dunn, and we provide quality face masks for your protection and satisfaction. Please note that all proceeds of these sales will go to help the COVID-19 cause. Thank you, and stay safe.
Yeah, we do have a clip, so take a listen.
I hope it's a mime clip.
Imagine fighting this war as a civilian. Imagine not knowing how to shoot a gun, challenging the Nazis to save lives. I have just heard an incredible story. That makes your sacrifices completely worth it.
123 children. Their parents were just killed by Nazis.
We need to train them to survive. What good does it do to teach them fear? I think it's important to help the children laugh in the middle of this war.
All right, well, Resistance is directed by Jonathan Jakubowicz, I think is how you say it. and stars Jesse Eisenberg.
From Venezuela.
Oh, yeah?
He's a famous Venezuelan director.
Oh, interesting. And yeah, Jesse Eisenberg, Fleur Delacour from Harry Potter.
That is not her name. You know that, right?
Clemence
Posey. Like
Posey?
the flower.
Matthias Schweighofer. Sorry
Nailed
about
it.
that. Ed Harris, Bella Ramsey. That's about it, I think.
No! Edgar Ramirez.
Oh, right. That's right. For like
Wild. So,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah. And the synopsis is the story of a group of Jewish Boy Scouts who worked with the French, which is strange, who worked with the French
This
resistance.
is the worst one ever. Henry, this
Yeah.
wins, right? For the worst one ever.
It could be.
Jewish Boy Scouts. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
Here,
my
let
God.
me start over here. The story of a group of Jewish Boy Scouts who
No.
worked with the French resistance to save the lives of 10,000 orphans during World War II.
Henri.
I know.
That's just not true, everyone. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
That's
this
terrible.
Yeah.
It
This-
should say the true story of Marcel Marceau, right?
Yep.
The
you got
most
it.
famous mime of all time,
Mhm.
who, when he was 16, joined the resistance, or war start, whatever, with his brother and cousin, and Fleur Delacour and her sister, and saved a bunch of kids. They were Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts.
Oh my God! First of all, Clemence Posey is like the cornerstone of their little group. So this is wild. Call them Boy Scouts. Also, they were resistance soldiers. Oh my God! Also, he was a very famous mime. I cannot with that. Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Now,
Oh my God.
this one I think was going to have a theatrical release, but then
And
it
I
was.
was so excited.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yes.
And but it got put on VOD because of COVID-19,
Oh my God.
and it came out maybe in the last month, I believe.
This was when I was again very small, not actually world problems, but in Film Buds land, I was very upset that this one wasn't actually really going to get seen by many people.
Right.
Apparently,
I had heard about it. I didn't know very much. I didn't know about this story.
you didn't know it was about Boy Scouts.
I didn't know it was about Jewish Boy Scouts. I had not heard of this person, at least not directly.
Marcel Marceau is very famous.
Yeah, and that name sounds familiar, but I would not have been able to tell you what he did if I had heard that name. I would have been like, I know that person. I don't know about him.
I didn't know about this. Neither did
Yeah.
my dad.
Yeah.
Again, he's like a relatively big Jewish figure, so we like Charlie Chaplin. So like we know who he is, but like as a mime, but did not know that he was amazing.
You didn't know about his. You didn't know about his.
freaking amazing in the Boy Scout. I did not know.
You didn't know
had
he was a Boy
record-
Scout. Yeah.
He had the record for selling the most popcorn tins of any
Yeah.
Boy Scout of all time.
What a guy.
Oh my God, that pisses me off.
Yeah. Now, if you've listened to the show before, I love World War II stories and just World
And
War II
I
history.
love Jews.
There you go. So and one thing about World War II that I find very interesting is the resistance, the Nazi
La
resistance.
Résistance.
Yeah.
Bonjour to our large French listenership.
Yes, our massive French listenership.
Merci.
Now the director he did this boxing film with Edgar Ramirez called Hands of Stone, which I have not seen.
It's good.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it's good.
Well, Chloe, I guess going back and forth here. What did you think of Resistance?
Well, let me start with this.
Please.
Okay, let me back up.
Okay.
I am the worst, and so I delayed the podcast like twice, right? And I had to imagine, Henry. I'll be honest with everyone, right? So I have narcolepsy and stuff, and I have bad migraine sometimes because of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I delayed the podcast
for good reason. Don't worry.
During that time, on like the first day of migraine parade, I watched Uncut Gems, and that did not help. All that background noise, oh my God. Anyway, look at you with Lil LaCroix. Where's that one gonna go? Next
over
to the
here
other
with the
one?
rest.
Keep company? Love it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was not a plug, but
could be.
That would be funny, actually, if we could get LaCroix.
That'd be amazing. But, masks are more important than seltzer, so.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but it's
these
true.
days, I guess so.
Yeah. He's a really sensitive spot. If y'all are avid listeners, we thank you. But also, that I think Henry's just, I did something to him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I deleted the podcast, and so it is like VOD, like Henry said, so we had to rent it, and you have 48 hours, and I was like, this movie was so, well, spoiler alert. I was like, called up Gare Bear. I said, we gotta pause our regularly scheduled TV shows, because I think we should watch this movie. I think you'll really like it. And so I watched it twice, if that's any indication.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, this is super weird. Dr. Strauss, his favorite actors are Jesse Eisenberg and Clemens Posey. He loves Clemens Posey. Yeah.
What
weird,
else,
right?
What has she been in besides Harry Potter?
She was in a show called she was in that show.
The
Tunnel.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I can't remember. I'm sorry, Papa. But he loves that. She's been in tons of stuff. She was in my favorite movie of all time. Not literally. So underrated. Give it a shout out, Henry.
Miss Stevens?
Absolutely not. Clemens Posey was not in Miss Stevens.
No?
No.
Was she in Lady Bird?
I do love... No, I'm... It's not literally my favorite movie of all time. The Final Portrait.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, she's been in tons of stuff. She's in lots of masterpiece, BBC stuff. But my dad loves her. She's in everything he likes. And that's his favorite show. It was The Tunnel or The Bridge or whatever. I don't remember what's called.
Cool.
I'm sorry. But yes, so that was a fun little twist, and it really encouraged. And as we all, well, not we all know, but as you may recall, Henry, Ed Harris asked my mom out, so that's fun. We've been over this.
Yes.
So either you could have had a Pamela Ed Harris marriage or a Chloe in the world. So take your pick. I don't know which I would choose.
I know my pick.
Especially not this week. I don't know. So anyway, but yeah, I think you should go first because I kind of showed my hand a little bit.
Okay. I thought the film was quite good. I thought it got better as it went along. I thought for a little while it seemed a bit directionless, but I felt like once it really got into the Resistance story.
So was Marcel.
Yeah, I thought it really picked up, and I found it very compelling. My biggest issue, I hate to say it, Gary, my biggest issue was Jesse Eisenberg. I did not. I was wary going in about the whole French accent, and I don't think it was consistent.
It was a Strasbourg accent, okay?
Strasbourg accent. Okay, well, I thought that
it's half German, half French.
Okay, well, I thought this it's a bit of a Russian Finn Wolfhard kind of deal.
Look, he was Ukrainian in that movie in Goldfinch, and I told you he actually sounded just like Sasha.
But see, Chloe,
my Ukrainian friend.
This is the thing. I'm not. If I completely think that Finn Wolfhard and Jesse Eisenberg, perhaps I haven't talked to him directly, not yet, but even if their accent is spot on,
you're hating on all the Jews. I see it.
No, I know that's not how they talk,
I'm just kidding.
and so it felt put on.
Yeah,
that's my. I just don't see why. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is a Hollywood actor, so it's kind of a name to get the movie made. But I thought that that part of the performance was not great and just distracting, and because mostly that's just because I know that's Jesse, not.
Yeah. Marcel.
So I thought everything else about his performance I thought was quite good. I thought
he was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially when he's like observing, when he's taking in.
Yes. I thought
incredible.
Yeah. Now this sounds mean, and I don't mean it to be. It's just kind of what you're saying. When he wasn't talking, I thought he was incredible.
Yes. His reaction, his performance, his reactionary performance was, I think, incroyable.
Yes. Yeah.
And I loved when he was performing. I thought he was so good. Like
I thought that was great as well. Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. The movie, it gets into, and for good reason, it gets into some pretty dark aspects of what could happen to resistance members if caught, and I thought all of that was very effective, especially the whole thing with the.
I'm not trying to be like that. That pool is in so many movies.
Is it? Because
yes,
it was that the pool setting was very effective, just because you know it immediately after you see it once.
That pool is more famous than I'll ever be. That pool is in so many movies.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, yeah. I thought all of that was very good, and even as despicable as the character is, I thought that the Nazi officer, the performance was very good.
Yeah, and because it wasn't too over the top either.
No.
Like they can be. It was, yeah.
So I thought that the journey was quite interesting, and as I said, it got better as it went along, and I thought that just the situations that they're put in were very interesting, and
Boy Scouts?
But they're Boy Scouts.
Where did that even come from?
I thought the scene
they
where
dress up as they're at a camp, but half of them are girls. Like it's not. They don't even. I don't even know if they had Boy Scouts in France or Germany. It's crazy.
I mean the standout scene is when they're selling cookies. It was great. It was a great moment.
They're breaking all those gender barriers. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I did find one thing, and now. I don't know the story by heart at all, so I'm not, this is purely just viewing it as a film. I did find there were certain moments that felt a little too coincidental, like where certain characters will show up just as the moment that the antagonist of the story is, like with the train, and I thought there were a few moments that felt a little too written to where characters were going to run into each other in the vast space that the story was taking place in.
Well, it wasn't that vast because he was assigned to, like, he was a Gestapo assigned to stopping the French resistance.
Yeah, but I mean, but of all the resistance members and the space that the movie was operating in, like they just so happened to be right on the train as the Nazi officer is coming up to the station. Things like that. Not bad.
No. It was an extra stop. The Gestapo said you're going to stop the train. It wasn't supposed to stop there.
Right, but I mean, in terms of the antagonist that we're following, it just so happens to be him. It's like, I mean,
wow.
It's and also, and now these are just nitpicks. I think
that's a little nitpicky, if I may say.
It's nitpicky. I'm nitpicking, but it's just for the sake of conversation. Also, in the scene in the forest towards the end, which I liked,
gorgeous.
I thought, why? And if I'm wrong here, I will be stand corrected. I thought that the officers are going through the forest searching for.
No spoilers. We want people to watch this, but yeah, that's in the trailer. So go for it.
No spoilers here. So they're going through the forest looking for the group.
Yeah,
but I found it, and again, very coincidental. Like, why do they just so happen to spend like 5 minutes looking at this one tree that the group happens to be in and not the others?
No.
It's things like that felt very directed.
No. Henry, you're being wild. You're wilding with this.
But it's like...
It's a narrative. Oh my God.
No, I get that, but it's like... but I thought that, and I mean it purely in terms of the direction.
Maybe they're not spending an hour of the movie showing them looking at all the trees. No one's saying they're not looking at other trees. They're just showing the part that is interesting. No? Nobody's like, that tree, let's stare at that tree. They very well could be, roaming for hours, I'm sure.
And I'm not saying I don't need a spin-off of the Nazis walking through the woods. I'm just saying the way, and I mean this purely in terms of the direction, not necessarily the story itself. It's like it's showing, them walking through the woods at a very quick pace, and then all of a sudden they just so happen to look up at the one and spend this long time. It's little things, and again, it's nitpicky.
Moving.
I don't know. It's little pieces of direction like that I didn't love.
I think it fits into the tone of the movie. Like it's very reminiscent to me of like, which fits, I guess, like having to say like it's very reminiscent of like old style narratives. Like from the 40s, very much so. Like it's not.
Yeah, fair enough.
Despite the content, it's not super dark and it's not like particularly comedic. It's just very lifelike, I guess, almost like a Tale of Love and Darkness, kind of like it's a very just. So sorry. Yes,
no,
she
okay.
agrees. It's like a very I mean, it's a movie. I don't know how to say that any better. I'm not doing a good job of it, but like.
I agree completely, and I'm by no means saying this made the movie terrible or anything. I still found those scenes quite entertaining. It's that at times it just felt more movie than more movie than I liked. It would a little bit, not too much. It's just that the storytelling felt
like a movie.
It felt too
movie. You remembered
movie.
It was a movie.
Yes.
You knew you were looking at it.
Yes, and then so I would be then kind of taken out a little bit of the realism of the story.
Yeah. But now the thing for me with that, Henry, is
Please.
I actually appreciate that because as we all know, I'm a little funny about it, but I'm very sensitive, if imperfect, about like biopics and that kind of thing. So I really appreciated that it felt like a movie and that you were like remembered that you were watching a movie because it was about real people and very serious traumas and stories and situations that can't be properly acknowledged or portrayed. It just can't, those feelings. Like
right.
Even when I was, I've been in even when I'm not pulling a card here, but like when I visited Auschwitz and stuff, you really realize like, and even that is like far removed. So in that way, and especially like keeping a relatively lighthearted tone I really appreciated the way they set it up. So it wasn't at all dismissive. It was like a glimpse into a little, those little things you put up and you can click and it shows you like different pictures to your eye. You put it up.
The kaleidoscope?
No, like the little things you put. It's like a little prismy thing, but you put it up and it's got little pictures in it, and you click and you can see different pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that. So
that Boy Scout thing.
Exactly.
You got that.
I come from a long line of Eagle Scouts, so better watch out.
I don't.
No, it's those overachieving Jews.
I tried to do it. I just wasn't feeling it.
Aw. You and maybe Dr. Strauss can help you. He talks about it constantly, so I'm sure he'd be down to it's never too late.
Okay.
It might be. I don't know how it works.
I would feel maybe a little out of place. It's okay. But hey, let's
Yeah. I can't remember what he did for his project. I'm very curious.
Oh no, go ahead.
But I just want to say, like, I really think they found, like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like a sweet spot as far as tone for the movie, and I think that's why that stuff kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, and now I'll
like,
say this last thing.
Bright colors, not crazy bright or anything, not like Jojo Rabbit, but yeah.
No. Yeah, I'll say this last thing about it, and then, you know, there's other things we can talk about that are probably better, but in summation, for a group of characters and a world that is having to be so impulsive and moving around constantly and having to make decisions right on the spot, the direction of that story felt too calculated to where it didn't feel as real to me. So that's, which again, not a big issue by any means. You know, just little moments that I kind of was taken out of, but otherwise I still found it's well directed, and it's overall it's very well acted, I think, and also, as we've talked about before with even Jojo Rabbit, in terms of keeping history alive, it's just very important to tell these at times very dark stories, but also very hopeful stories. And especially I thought that the end credits, or the end, whatever you want to call them, were very meaningful and really gave the story even more weight than it already had without it. And the Marcel is an incredibly interesting figure in the time frame.
Yeah, and in the culture, as it
were. Like,
I think it's so important, and at least for me, something I struggle with a lot is like, especially like right now and stuff, like I feel very guilty for like not going out and protesting and stuff like that, and like it can be very difficult to find your place, like the way in which you can help the most, kind of thing, like that lens that your true self lends to the most. Like I've been doing like graphic design for like causes that like need lifting and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
But the point there is like that he does an excellent job of showing that you don't have to be like his dad says he has the muscles of a ghost, which I'm obsessed with, but like I'm obsessed with that. Like, what does that? I'm obsessed with that. But anyway, but I just really appreciate that the biggest message of the movie, especially, again, we love a movie that says something about.
Oh yeah.
Like we've talked about this a lot lately, but like the just kind of self-awareness as well. Like Marcel, he didn't think he had any place there. Other people didn't think he had any place doing anything because of his what he was good at and what he cared about and that kind of thing. But it ended up being an incredible resource. Like, and the big message of the movie is the thing that gets you through. Like, you have to have hope and some joy. Like they were saying, well, it's true. Like I'm going all over the place, but what's new? So like when you're saying that seems like a little calculated and stuff, like a little crazy, it was like some crazy stuff. Like he was going through the woods once, and with the resistance, and the Gestapo saw them or whatever, and I think it was like 10 of them or something, and he convinced them with like literally his acting skills and miming and everything that he had a huge like militia behind him, and the Nazis surrendered and retreated, and there was nobody behind him. It was just like that, which is wild.
Wow.
You know, but more to my point is that he went, you know, back and forth, like you said, crazy amount of times to save these kids and help them. They dressed up like it was camp, and they were, you know, crossing into Switzerland. And a big reason why that was successful was because he could make the kids feel, you know, happy and comfortable and joyous, to the point where it did seem like they were campers, not, you know, recently orphaned, like, refugees who people wanted to, who they, you know, dealing with excessive trauma and PTSD and everything. So like that kind of shows you as well. Kind of the point of the movie is that you know, which goes with the tone as well. Like all darkness is not gonna do much for you either, I guess. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's just a beautiful message.
Yeah.
And they even had that conversation. Clemens Posey and Jesse Eisenberg had that conversation about retribution, that kind of thing.
Right.
Which actually, it's like a main Jewish, you know, Jews love an idiot. We love a proverb. We love, right? And one of them, as I think I've said before, and I'm going to paraphrase, I'm going to mess it up, but basically it's like, the best revenge is to live a good life. And I like that they actually like talked that out in the movie, because it's literally a thing like we say. And I loved there's so much about it I loved the conversation he had with the kids at the beginning, where he was like, every generation somebody did, but we're still here. Because like, that's the truth.
Yeah.
But I like that they're also speaking to their audience, like, you know, those kids, like grandkids and stuff, or
kids, very much
I guess,
so.
like Marcel's the same age as my grandfathers, basically, because they lied about their age to enlist early in this country. You had to be older, so. Or my grandfather, one of them was old enough, the other one wasn't, but anyway. But it's just like the idea that like they're all the same age and stuff. It's like it's a movie for us as well, which I think is why it's like lighter, like as opposed to Schindler's List, which is like, yes, we know. Or for instance, I hated watching The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Like I hated it in school. Like that is clearly a movie. No shit, you know, whatever. That's clearly a movie that's like for history class for people who've never met a Jew, which was like a lot of people I grew up with. Like I was the first Jew they met and that kind of thing. And it's like, all right, but this one had like levity and beauty and happiness, which I
agree,
loved, because like that's real life. Like, oh my god, the beginning of this movie like gives me life. Oh my god, when he's in the butcher shop and he's like, my dad wants me to bed. Like, it's so sweet. It like starts with a little rom-com. Like, we love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So cute, because you have to have that stuff to get through.
Yeah, and I also thought the relationship with the father was very interesting, because at first you think it's going to be this conflict,
big dramatic,
this conflict of, you know, this strict father not understanding the or not wanting his son to be, you know, artsy and you know, theatrical, but then it goes more into, he just wants to know why he does it.
He wants him to be, I think more than that, it's because of what, you know, you end up finding out and everything. I think it's like a very good representation of like, you just want your children to be like safe and happy.
Yeah.
And all that. Yeah. And like, I love, especially with like, again, I'm not trying to be like that, but like Jewish tropes, especially recently, it's like, and I know other cultures and religions have similar tropes, like in Never Have I Ever or whatever Mindy Kaling show, where her mom is like, I don't know, mad at her if she doesn't get like a 108 on every test or whatever. But like there's a lot of Jewish tropes about like, you have to be a doctor or a lawyer or like, you know, that kind of like not creative, like professional. And like, if you don't do that, then you're like a failure and blah, 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 blah. And like very dramatic. And the whole idea, like, I loved that they didn't comment on like, some people had payas, some didn't. Some wore kippah, some didn't. Some had tzitzit, some didn't. Like, I loved like it didn't matter, because that is actually much truer to who we are, because we're a religion and a culture, like I said, so it's all mixed together. And this movie was so true to that, and I just really appreciated that they didn't play up any tropes for like the sake of a movie or whatever, because it's not realistic. And it also speaks to like why we as a culture and a society have, you know, made it far, because we're not a very judgmental people, like particularly especially in terms of how people want to practice. And also like it says, the Torah has its own, I'm going to say it wrong, paraphrasing, but like the Torah has its own writing for each person who reads it. So like it's like very non-judgmental, very not like strict. But also like Jewish culture traditionally super highly values like the arts and stuff, which is again why we quote own the media. That's a joke. We don't, but that's not a thing. But anyway, but I just love movies that are true to life and can show you that in extreme tragedy you can also like laugh and love someone and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Because
for sure.
And so it especially hits hard when it's talking about my life, basically, the life of my loved ones and where I came from. But I love it in I think it's like the most beautiful language you can speak to everybody, especially about where you come from. It's also a lot more universal because it's not in these like I said, like really like extremely specific tropes and that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I agree, and it does a good job. Not that it needs to be or it shouldn't, but it's not like Schindler's List would not be the direct comparison for this movie. It's like Schindler's List has its place, and that's still my favorite of this kind of anything. Really, I mean, most World War II films in general, but this it does a good job, as you said, of making it feel, for lack of a better word, normal. Like it just feels real. It's not like, look how bad this time was. It's like, these were people, and they did these amazing things, and so of course there's going to be darkness there with the time that they're in, but of course there's moments of levity, and so I
that's what's
agree.
A lot more inspiring. I think again, like you said, it's all important. It's all history, contrary to what half my teachers said growing up. The Holocaust did happen, but yeah, I think like this is just so much more inspiring a message about the same thing. Like I think you have to know what you're talking about, so you need movies like Schindler's List maybe for people who don't have the fortune of that easy access to that education, but also this kind of movie is what's gonna like uplift you like in times right now, like inspire you and remind you that like good people are just doing good things and living their lives, and you don't have to set yourself on fire in order to feel like you're doing something. Exactly. Like you don't have to be miserable all the time and that kind of, because that's not going to do any good for anyone. Yeah.
And one scene that not dealing with that necessarily, just in terms of film, I thought the scene towards the beginning of them training the kids how to run,
so
because that's something I don't know if I'd really seen before in a movie, and at first maybe if being distant from it, you don't really think about that kind of training happening. But of course, they're the people, some of the people you should teach that kind of thing most to because of the situation. And so I thought that scene was very interesting because, they are kids, but they're in this world that is so dangerous. And so I thought that was
experienced more than most people anyway. They don't understand it.
Yeah, I liked that a lot, and I thought the final performance was great by Jesse Eisenberg on the stage.
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about that. I love how they set it up, the like narration they set up with Ed Harris.
Right,
I loved it.
Yeah,
loved it because again, it sets it up as a story. Like it's not trying to be like shaky cam. This is a documentary or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's telling a story of how it like sets it up in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a very interesting story and an important one to tell, because even just to bring it back to more, I guess, Hollywood, cheesiness, but it's almost like a Last Jedi kind of scenario where it's like a hero can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
He may have the muscles of a ghost, was it?
Yes, the muscles of a ghost.
But it's like someone who's this, up and coming actor, this young person can become this incredible figure, and it does a good job of communicating that.
And I also love that it absolutely was not the point of the movie that like he became famous. Like that just happened to be the case, like it just, which I really appreciate because of what we tend to value in society is like, fame and everything like that. But like the most incredible part of his life, at least to me, was the part that I didn't even know about. which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
It's really worth a watch.
It's kind of like 1917 in that respect. Like, he just wrote that about his grandfather's particular situation, which is cool, because we all have that, or a lot of us have, in one way or the other.
Man, I want to,
or can be that, which is,
Yeah, I really want to rewatch 1917. I've been really in the mood to rewatch that. I gotta do it, Chloe.
On a rainy day.
I gotta check out the Deaconmeister.
I love it. Yes, 71 years young.
Man. All right. Well, anything else about Resistance?
Incroyable. I loved it. I love that he got to use his "Now You See Me" tricks.
Oh, that's right.
He learned all that sleight of hand. He got to use it.
Yeah, they finally came in handy. Yeah,
I love it. Get it? In handy?
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
We're on the same page there. Okay, well, out of 5, it's a heavy 4 for me.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. I give it... Okay. Well, I give
Take your time.
So, the first time, this sounds so bougie, I apologize, I don't mean it to, okay. The first time I went to France with my family, I think I was like 14, and we were staying at this like super weird house owned by the Dingleys in the middle of nowhere, Corinne and Donald Dingley in the middle of nowhere, right? And I was like, this is terrible, I hate that. And it was like a huge house and everything, but everything was like kind of falsely advertised. So everything was just a little worse than it should have been. And also we're pretty positive they were living in the house, even though it was like an Airbnb, like they were supposed to be gone. Like we rented the chateau, right? Pretty sure they were living in one of the rooms or something. It was because it was like, just trust me, it was very odd. And they kept popping up. Like it was a lot of that. This is opposite the point. This is not the review. Okay. But
it's a story for another time.
It's a lot of stories. There are a lot of good stories in this tale with Corinne and Donald Dingley. She's the one who gave me 50 Shades of Grey to read when I was like 13 and did not ask for it at all. She was like, "Hey, you should read this. It's great." They're also very northern British, but anyway. But like they had tons of like it was a big place. Like there were a couple houses, that kind of thing. Like one really big one, then like, servants' lodges or whatever, but anyway, so there were big stone horse stables and stuff, but like no horses. Like that was the vibe, okay? And it was in the middle of nowhere, and everything was just kind of like that, right? And there was like no internet and stuff, and I was like, and the first day we got there, I was such a little brat. I was like, I wasn't trying to be though, but I was like crying. I was like, I said something rude, like I didn't leave a small town to go to another small town because like there was like nothing around, like at all, right? But then, that was the first night, and I was being a little turd, and then I kind of eased into it. But I think more of it was anxiety that I didn't acknowledge. You know what I mean, right? Because I was away from everything for the first time. Like I never went to sleepaway camp or anything like that. So I was away, and so anyway, so then it was like the second day, and I had chilled, and I'm just laying in the grass, because as weird as it was a beautiful property, very big, fruit on all the trees, very Call Me By Your Name.
Okay.
It was very calm. That was definitely the vibe, right? And so I was just laying in the grass, and I was feeling the sunshine, and I was very peaceful for the first time, right? But at the same time, because again, it was like my first time away. I was with my mom and my sister and my stepdad, but like, I live, as you know, Henry. Well, actually, I don't know if you know, but anyway, my grandparents lived down the street basically, so I used to see them every single day, and I was really missing my grandparents, but I was very happy where I was. Like it felt the sun felt so good on my face, and like the fruit trees that you could smell them and everything, and laying in the grass and the wind, and had nothing to do because I was away from everything, but also I missed my grandparents, but also I was like, they're so happy I'm here, and but also like that, one little tear falls down your face as you're laying in the grass, and the sun and the breeze hits the tear, and it's a little cold, and so that feeling.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Laying in the grass there, not the part where I'm sad, like a few days later, but is my happy place when I'm like getting a shot or something. Fun fact.
Okay. Good to know.
But I'm not scared of shots, and they don't really hurt.
No.
No, except my migraine one. Oh my god. It's brutal.
Yeah.
One time, I think it was the first time or second time. Oh yeah, it was the God, I feel terrible. Sorry, Dr. Strauss. The first time my dad gave it to me, because you can give it to yourself, but I don't want to if I don't have to, right? Because like, that's terrible. Because it's one of the ones where you have to leave it in for a while, right? Yeah, because it's like a ton of yuck. Sorry, everyone. So anyway, so the first time my dad did it, I straight up, and I'm so sorry, it wasn't me, it was my body. That excuse won't fly in court, but I'm gonna use it here. Straight up slapped him in the face. I'm not kidding, and I felt so bad, but it was like a reflex. It was a
you
reflex.
Were like Leslie in Parks and Rec.
Yes, thank you. That is all I've ever wanted. Not really, but yes. Oh my God.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Here's the thing from our sponsor.
I'm just gonna like be splitting like reviews up maybe
just
in half.
do it there. That was good.
Do you run a business and want to provide quality protection for yourself and your employees? Dunn Manufacturing provides quality protection face masks in order for your staff to experience a happy and healthy work environment. Our masks are washable and reusable. For details on our masks or to place an order, please email us at mark@dunnmfg.com. That's mark@dunnmfg.com. Please note that all proceeds of these sales will go to help the COVID-19 cause.
Let's get to we got some news to talk about. I guess, well, first off, I guess the biggest thing, Chloe, as sad as it is, Larry Kramer passed.
Oh my God.
Which as bittersweet as it is to say, I'm so glad we talked about him with The Normal Heart recently, you know?
Me too.
But yeah, he did pass away, the famous playwright and activist and many other things as well. Yes, you're correct. But I am really glad we talked about him in such depth just recently.
Me too.
Yeah.
My goodness. It's so sad. It's so sad. And it's, well, I don't know. I don't want to get all into it because who am I? But the fact that he passed during such a, horrible time in society, but also, room for growth, as it were, like a time, you can come from the ashes as well, hopefully. Vote in your primaries if you haven't voted yet. Okay, thank you. Let's focus, please. Anyway, it's not too late. Everyone thinks it's the freaking general already. It's not at all. There is not a Democratic nominee. No one's gotten enough delegates. Let's chill, okay? If you want, you look back at the record. One of the candidates for president got arrested during the civil rights movement. One wrote the eulogy for Strom Thurmond, okay? He lied about getting arrested with Nelson Mandela. Very weird. That's so rude. Also lied about freaking the NAACP thing. What the heck? They don't endorse people. He said that they've endorsed him every time. What the heck is that? Insane. Anyway, sorry, got off topic there. But the point is, like, there's always, even like, resistance, like there's always beacons of hope from the past that show that progress can be made. And so that's why we so appreciate Larry Kramer.
Yeah.
And also I love him because he's my type of person,
Oh, yeah.
We both like to yell. We don't like it. We just are emotional, okay?
Oh, yeah, Chloe. And the one thing I am happy about for the show, that's one of our most popular episodes recently.
Yay!
So I'm glad a lot of people are checking it out.
We love
and okay, well, I guess next thing. So Amazon has greenlit.
I was just going to mention Amazon. Can I say one other thing? Be a little soapboxy another moment. We're doing VOD movies just because of circumstances. I urge you to not rent them from Amazon. There are so many other places from which you can rent these movies.
Yes.
Please.
And Chloe, I went iTunes. I
yes,
don't know which
Henry.
way.
I mean, guys, I know Apple sucks too, but one thing at a time, okay? Amazon is like evil, so, okay? Yes, I got mine from YouTube.
Oh. Very millennial of you.
YouTube's sick. I mean, YouTube's my favorite. I love me some YouTube.
Are you a YouTube
I know they have
Red
their own stuff, but
subscriber? Are you? No.
I don't like to pay for things.
Right.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
I am that bad person who does a bunch of if something comes up or if we're doing a movie where you can watch it with like a Showtime extension or whatever on Hulu, I'll do the free trial over and over again. I don't know why you're allowed to do that, but you are, so there's a life hack for you.
Interesting.
Very weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a little, yeah. Okay, well, as I was saying, Amazon has greenlit a Girl with the Dragon Tattoo Lisbeth Salander TV series.
How you feeling, Henry?
I'm going to get to it.
Okay. Is there
time.
Casting yet?
There's not. It is very early, but it's the creator of it, quote unquote, he worked on The Night Manager, the Tom Hiddleston, Hugh Laurie.
I love The Night Manager.
Yes, that's one of his credits. So.
Okay.
And now
let's get Daniel Craig back in here. A little bit of James Bond vibes. Okay.
I know. Yeah. Now we did talk about the Dragon Tattoo remake, and then also the Girl in the Spider's Web on the show formally.
Yeah.
And so she's my favorite character, just across
anything.
Across anything. Yeah, you got it. And the Girl in the Spider's Web flopped pretty bad. And I think people were expecting that to be the new launch of a series, but that did not happen. So
I don't think anyone was expecting it, Henry. I think that was the problem.
Or okay, I should say hoping. The producer were hoping this would be the new, like.
I simply, and again, I might just being a big old jerk face because, you know, here I am sitting on my little tushy, but like I don't understand how they get it wrong so often. Like it just doesn't seem like it should be that hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh, like don't start something with a bunch of T that nobody understands. Like and act like it's we gotta follow her into her heroism. Just start it over for God's sake. You're fine doing it with Spider-Man every other year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
So with that being said, it makes sense for them to move it to television. You know, I mean, there's a lot of material there, so I'm all for it. And now I don't know if it's a direct quote, but from Deadline it says it will.
I will only deal in direct quotes.
It'll take Lisbeth Salander and place her in today's world with a new setting, new characters, and a new story that will resonate with fans of the original and thrill a whole new generation.
Okay, some anonymous vibes in here.
I don't know. We'll see.
Watch it. They'll make Lisbeth Salander the queen of Anonymous.
Maybe so.
Great.
Yeah. But okay, as you were asking, Chloe, with my attachment to it, I can go on record here, and now this may very well change if casting is when that comes out.
You know,
there's no movie or TV show I'm looking more forward to.
You know who I could see? What's her name? Mackenzie something?
Davis?
Yes.
I could see that. I don't know if she would be my first pick. I'm actually not sure who I would pick, but I could see her doing it for sure.
Especially for like a TV. I know it's not TV, but like a TV. Like I feel like that could. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
It may be a while before it comes out, but I'll be looking forward to it.
Yes, that'd be a good. I feel like crossover. I don't know if it's cultural appropriation, but I feel like the anime world would do a good job with.
Yeah, and
Dragon
now
Tattoo.
there are graphic novels for it that are very kind of like surreal, and so I could see that as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll keep you updated.
My worst not my worst nightmare, but a thing that I could see happening that for obvious reasons I wouldn't get behind. You'd probably be fine with it. Would be like Cara Delevingne doing it.
If she would not be my first pick.
Yeah, but I feel like it's something she'd want to do.
Yeah.
What about Kristen Stewart?
No, I like her. I like Kristen Stewart.
I feel like she'd be. Now, this is weird. I know I'm not very invested, but I think she's a better fit than Claire Foy, for instance.
Yeah, I would pick her over Claire Foy. If you could bring back like Rooney Mara or I think Noomi Rapace, she has her trilogy, and I don't think she should go back to it, nor I don't think she would want to.
She might. She loves to fight. She loves a fight movie.
True. But with
let's
Kristen
get Clemens
Stewart,
Posey in there.
Yeah. But with Kristen Stewart, at least personally, I think it would be too distracting, and knowing it was Kristen Stewart.
Okay.
I think I would have that issue.
Okay.
I would just know it's Kristen Stewart doing it. I would prefer more of an unknown kind of person.
I always,
which is,
as you know,
which
I'm
is what they
big
did with
into
both.
unknown.
Which was the case with
Yeah,
Rooney Mara and
yeah.
Numir Pass. So
True.
I think they should keep going down that route.
Fits the role very well. So
Very.
makes sense.
All right. Well, I guess we can touch on the Killers of the Flower Moon news. So this is the
That wasn't
apparently
to you. Somebody's at my house again.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
again, we are quarantining. I know that
Mhm.
I'm either being robbed, which I doubt and I hope not, but I think robbers don't slam the doors so hard. But I can't do that. But it's either my mother, my father, or my sister. It's in my bubble. Please don't worry.
Let's hope.
We have a bubble. Bubbles
Yeah.
are safe.
Yeah.
Soap. They're made of soap.
Yes.
Wash your hands.
Oh, yeah. 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 Okay. So, Killers of the Flower Moon is the next next Martin Scorsese,
My boys.
Leonardo DiCaprio team up,
Can't wait.
and it's been in development for quite a while now.
Like all their
And,
stuff. Oh my god.
Just recently, Apple, who is now starting to produce original content, as Chloe has talked about a fair bit.
And I like it. I like
Oh,
their
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, they have officially bought or are going to be financing this film with apparently around a $200 million budget.
Mhm.
So it's a massive project, which
Huge.
I think even The Irishman was less than that. So I think it's just going up and up for these guys.
It's very Marlon Brando. I like
Yeah.
it. But
Uh,
I don't know why it's going to be confusing because J. Edgar Hoover's back in the mix. And that's going to be,
Oh yeah.
been there, done that.
Now, Chloe, you've read the novel, yes?
I'm upset. If Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese are involved, I know everything there is to know about it.
Right.
I will tell you that. And I think it's incredibly an important story that they're telling. Like the most underrepresented community, or one of them.
Yeah. Well, but now this is the big question for what we've talked about a lot before. Are you going to be okay with it being not released in theaters? Like, are you okay with it being
Yes.
streaming? Yeah?
Yes. Because I think, again, it depends a lot on the content. Obviously, I would rather see it in theaters because I think Martin Scorsese is a genius. And Leonardo DiCaprio, the bigger the face, the better. The more emotion I can see, the better.
Of course.
I want to see that acting wrinkle that we share all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think, it's the times. And also, I just want to see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm very excited.
And also, I'm just saying and also a lot. I don't even know why. But, hopefully in the future it'll be in a theater because that's how I would like to experience a movie. But, if it's good enough, then it should be good no matter what. I mean, if it was Blade Runner 2049, I'd be very sad if it wasn't in theaters.
Right.
Not very sad, but you know what I mean. But I think it's still good to watch at home because it's just a good movie. You know?
Yeah. I've done it myself.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate in that I have been able to invest in a projector, like a cheapy projector, but it works fine, and a screen. So as you know, you've witnessed
that's right.
it.
I did. I was there.
Trolls.
Yeah, it's a
Trolls
classic.
with my guy Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll probably watch it on that. The sound will be.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wear headphones so the sound will be better. You just gotta work with what you got,
Yeah. But yeah, that is still very much an early development, so I think it's going to be a while before that comes out. But we'll keep you updated if any other news comes out about it.
I still want my freaking Devil in the White City.
Oh yeah.
I know that's a hot take, but I trust them with it because, again, the content is pretty like, but
yeah.
I trust them with it. I don't think it's going to be a you situation. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to make him like, oh my gosh, swipe whichever way you're supposed to swipe if you like somebody. Like, he's going to be a bad dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No swiping.
No swiper, no swiping.
Okay, well, the last piece of news is Ryan Gosling, star of Blade Runner 2049, has been
Wolfman?
cast as the Wolfman in
I don't understand.
So we did review The Invisible Man earlier on, the remake, earlier this year with Elizabeth Moss. Please,
I have a question.
Please.
Do you think Teen Wolf is a good movie?
I have seen it once, and it was years ago. I would not be able to tell you. From my recollection, I no.
Okay.
I don't think so. But hey, it's been so long.
Now, this is the thing. I also think it is not a good movie, but I want to love it so much. And that's just too darn bad.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Jason Bateman one, so jury's out.
Yeah.
Has there been a movie called Jury's Out yet?
Probably. I have not seen it, though. Yeah. But yeah, so Universal, they still have a part in it, but Blumhouse produced The Invisible Man.
Okay.
They kind of took over the reins because The Mummy with Tom Cruise bombed, and so they started to make, they took it to Blumhouse to do smaller budget films, and The Invisible Man did incredibly well.
Was that
both
small
financially.
budget?
What's that?
Was that small budget?
Oh yeah.
I feel like that had to be a big budget.
It was. I think it was less than 20 million, which I mean that's still a lot of money, but I mean in comparison.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised for
and
CGI.
Yeah.
Not that it looked amazing, to be fair. No shade.
Yeah.
I'm such a hater. Oh my god.
It's all good.
My god.
But yeah, Ryan Gosling is going to be playing the Wolfman, which of course the first film was back in the early 30s, I believe, and there have been many remakes, like the one with Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt back in 2009 or 2010.
Vague. It sounds vaguely familiar, but that could just be my brain.
Yeah.
Making it seem that way.
Yeah. I was a big fan of the Invisible Man remake. I know you weren't, Chloe, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if Ryan Gosling would be my choice. I love Ryan Gosling, but I don't know if that really fits the vibe for me, but I could be wrong.
We don't know the vibe.
I mean, just the Wolfman vibe. Just the like Benicio del Toro pulled it off. He had that kind of more rugged feel to him.
But what if they're going for like a Hulk angle?
I hope not.
No? What does Wolfman do?
I mean, it's like the Invisible Man. He terrorizes people.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, but it's not. But
Frankenstein does not terrorize people. I resent him being lumped in this category.
I said the Invisible Man. I didn't say Frankenstein.
I know,
did.
but you said Dracula.
But and the thing is, the main issue, as with the original, is that it's not necessarily them wanting to terrorize people. It's that they're being chased away, and so they're being seen as this enemy. But hey,
walk it back.
I don't know what Ryan is thinking.
I don't feel that way about Invisible Man. I'll tell you that right now. And tomorrow and yesterday. Oh my god.
Well, no, not in the original. Yes, that was the case. But in the new one, though. No, it's different. So I'm curious to see what they do. I
can tell you it won't be scarier than All Good Things. I can tell you.
Right. Yeah.
That was the creepiest freaking. Oh my god! I still don't know what I saw.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But that one, again, as the others, is very much in early development.
I just keep picturing the prosthetic. I just hope it's all practical effects.
I hope so as well. Yeah.
Oh my god. I think he can do it. I see it. I don't know what it is, but I can see it. And he's wearing his jacket from Drive. Oh my god, a tie-in.
Ooh,
with his little Wolfie. Wolfie. The best Wolfman I've ever seen is Jeff Goldblum in Fairy Tale Theater. We all know my favorite show of all time that I want my life goal is to bring back. So that is what everybody should be looking at. Three Little Pigs, Fairy Tale Theater. You get Jeff Goldblum as the big bad wolf. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Okay, well, That's about it for news, Chloe, unless you have anything else you want to mention.
I don't have anything, Henry. I don't know.
Okay.
I
it's all
can't
good.
remember. You do such a good job.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay,
and
well,
let's
one
get
of us
on.
is lazy.
No.
Yeah.
No, Chloe, you're.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
A smidge.
Oh, boy. All right, well, let's get on to our listener question. So the Film
do
Buds.
it.
The Film Buds Podcast at gmail.com is the address that you can reach us at. Also, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Film Buds. So if you have not yet, please follow us there and send us any questions or comments that you have. Oh, Chloe, you froze for a second.
You froze too,
Oh, there you go.
but I'm sure you did a great job.
Oh, did I? Okay. Okay. So we'd love to hear from you. If you're listening for the first time, please send us something. Or if you've been listening for a while, please send us something if you haven't yet.
Yeah.
And now the one we have this week,
and if
it's
you want any merch, all the proceeds, because Henry's kind, so it goes to. If you want to share with our faces on it.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So thefilmbuds.com, which is our website for all you people, people out there. There is a merchandise store that we have, t-shirts, stickers, a mug, coffee mug, and that is on the main page. And so if you buy anything, any of the products, all the proceeds go to the COVID-19 charities, as does the masks through the advertising. Yeah. Well, okay. So, this one comes from, via Twitter.
This is my favorite part.
Dirt turns into. That's it. That's it.
I love it.
That's interpretation.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it, especially as a ceramicist. Wow.
Yeah, leaves people wanting more.
I love it. Leaves people want, because leaves turn into dirt.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
Oh yes. They know it. They know it. Yeah. Wow. They say, "Hi, my friends."
Hello.
Hello. I have a simple but essential question.
Okay.
Sorry if this has been covered already.
Oh no, we do that.
No problem.
Hey, no, that's all we do. I've met Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, we just repeat ourselves. It's all good. Flat out, is Citizen Kane overrated?
Sure.
Believe me, I've tried. I've tried watching it 5 times.
Okay.
And I get so bored. What is the matter?
Okay.
Keep rocking.
You too.
In our little chairs.
Yeah, was that you or them?
What's up?
Who said in our little chairs?
That they said keep rocking.
Yeah.
And I said in my little chair.
Okay. I love
just
that.
Just a little. It's normal.
I love what Dirt Turns Into has helped you become.
What's that?
I think that's my favorite thing you've ever said.
Oh.
In our little chairs, honest to God.
Yeah, that's a very Chloe joke.
Yeah.
So
I'm so sad. They took Comedy Bang Bang off of Netflix. I'm pissed.
Oh yeah.
God, thank God they still have like 9,000 episodes of the podcast. But anyway.
Yeah. Now we've talked about even relatively recently about starting to watch classic films and how to do it, which everybody should.
That should be the name
of
your video essay thing.
It should be.
Start a 19th channel, Henry. You need more projects.
I should start another podcast. I mean, there are just so many ideas.
I want to be in it. My God.
Chloe, I would never do one without you.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like stretching over here. I'm so sorry. Okay. You're probably like, what the heck is she doing? I'm contorting.
And so this one,
Henry. Sorry, audience.
It's all good. Chloe, is Citizen Kane overrated?
Let's say it on 3. 3?
Okay.
Nope. 1, 2, 3. No. Nice.
No. Sorry, Dirt turns into.
We believe in you. Let me tell you
whatever it is.
Let me tell you this. Dirt.
Please.
Let me tell you. I think. Look, I think there's a problem with expectation and hype and everything. So, like, do I wish that it was just, like, a little thing people stumbled upon? Yes, because I think that'd make it easier, because I think part of the problem is people are like, I'm supposed to think this is amazing, I'm supposed to, right? And it takes away from the real experience, because it is, I think, truly a masterpiece. And it's done so much for, like, narrative film and everything. And so contextually, as well, as annoying as that is, like, for the history of film, it's super very valid, but also just as its own work, it's like, I think it's pretty incredible. But I definitely get where you're coming from, you know, dirt turns into.
Yes.
I see it.
I had to watch it maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 times probably throughout my film schooling.
Yeah.
And it's, I have the utmost, as you said, the utmost respect for it and appreciation for it, because just the complexity of the story and the technical feats as well is kind of undeniable when talking about film. But is it the most entertaining movie to watch? Not really. I have no very little interest in going back to it anytime soon, but that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be seen.
Yeah. And
but
it sticks. It sticks in your memory.
Oh yeah,
which
for
isn't
sure.
something you can fake based on, like, hype. Like, you can hear his voice, and you can, or at least I can, and yeah. But I see why it'd be hard to get into. But one time it might just simply click. Like, I had that with Schitt's Creek. I watched the first episode like 9 times. Guess what? That show is the freaking best show of all time. I'm saying it right
great.
Here and now, Henry.
It's
Best
great.
show ever made.
I love it. I'm glad you like it.
Surpasses everything. Surpasses Please Like Me. Surpasses every show.
Wow.
Silicon Valley comes second.
Wow.
Okay? It's incredibly beautiful. But it took me a minute to get past. But also the first episode, they all, like, suck. And that's the point. And I was like, I don't like mean people.
Yeah, I was the same.
Yeah, so that's why it took me a while. But also, this is a much better example. I've tried to watch Maniac, as you know. You got me back on the Fukunaga Express. So I'm so grateful, Henry. Because I love him. And I couldn't get into Maniac. And I was like, dang it. Right? But, click. Just was the right time, right place for me. I'm so in it now.
Wow. Okay.
You know?
Revelations.
And it might have also been that thing of, like, you know, Kerry Joji is my guy. So I was, like, ready for Maniac. And maybe that was part of the problem as well. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a similar thing with Citizen Kane.
Could be. Yeah. But, you know, excuse me. Even with that being said, is of all the films, as we talked about, I think maybe a couple months ago, I'm not sure, is that the first film you should watch when going to explore older films?
No.
I wouldn't say so.
Absolutely
Start with Top
not.
Hat. Yeah?
Yes.
You know? Start with Psycho, something like that. And then Citizen Kane is really...
Yeah.
As I was saying, it's not one that I watch for, you know, a pure entertainment level, but every time I have seen it, the amazement of the cinematic feat that it is, you know.
And it's a story that, for better or worse, holds up very well.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
So I'm sorry to say it, dirt turns into. I don't think it's overrated. I get your anger, your confusion.
Maybe even start with, like, another Orson Welles movie. Maybe.
Yeah.
They're all kind of dense.
What about Touch of Evil?
Touch of Evil is, like, the other most famous one, so yeah, go for that.
Yeah.
Maybe Treasure Island. Live your life.
Yeah.
You can pick from a lot of stuff.
All right, well, thanks for the question. We appreciate it a lot.
We do.
All right, well, let's... And again, the filmbudspodcast@gmail.com. Please send us stuff if you have not yet. And thank you to the people who have.
Thank you.
Yeah. And become a patron. Why not? That's cool. So, all right, well, let's end off with our picks of the week, shall we? Chloe, I have a handful of things, but you were kind of teasing.
As usual, I've shown my hand, so here we are.
Okay. I'll start off this time. I did see. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. I did see Menashe or Menashe. Please
say like
correct
they
me
said
up
it
there.
in the thing.
Yep. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This one is a A24 film as well, and it's entirely in Yiddish, and it is on Netflix right now. And it follows a father who has a young son and the father just, as much as he tries, he just can't get anything right. He's always showing up late. He's always, spilling things and having these accidents. And even though his intentions are entirely
Classic Jewish story.
right, entirely good, he just can't seem to get a footing. And all he wants to do is support his son, but he just can't get things together in the way that he wants. And so it's a very much a very simple, grounded story about that. And I thought it was quite good. It's very, not in a bad way. It's very A24.
Okay.
Just the filmmaking and the style of the story. It's very A24, but in a very good way.
A24 needs to find itself again. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
At least I think.
Yeah. And my only issue with it, so it's about an hour and 20 minutes. It's very short.
That's good.
But my biggest issue was I watched it in mostly one sitting, and I paused it, and I remember there were about 7 minutes left. And when I paused it, I could not believe it was almost over. I felt like we were just getting into the heart of the story.
Leave them wanting more. Henri.
Yes, but there was a point. It still felt the story is there and the heart is there for sure, and so I'm by no means faulting that. It's just that I would have loved a little bit more exploration with the character. It just felt it blew by so quickly that I would have liked a little bit more time spent, and just because I enjoyed that world so much. I thought it was because that's very new to me, and so I thought being an outsider in that way, I thought it was very interesting. But overall, very well acted.
Did you learn
well
any
directed?
Yiddish?
Yeah, good score. And so that's on Netflix. And then a movie that I mentioned to Chloe as just a kind of random review to do, but maybe at some point, that's also on Netflix right now, is Mine, starring Armie Hammer.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Chloe, have you seen this?
No.
No?
I started and I fell asleep.
Okay. This movie is one, I like war films, as we've talked about plenty, and I had been looking at it, from afar. Like, I am very curious about this one. Kind of like
Making
the whole...
eyes across the room.
Yeah, kind of like the whole high school thing where I was like, oh, there's a fight happening. I guess I'll
Oh my
wander over.
God, Henry.
I'm kidding, Chloe. I'm kidding.
He's not.
No, and I'll edit that out. So Mine stars Armie Hammer.
Love.
And he is a Marine sniper out in the Middle East, and he's on a
Loveless.
He's on a mission with his spotter, but of course things go terribly awry.
Yeah.
As they so often do in movies, and they're forced to retreat across the desert until they can be picked up by this convoy. But as the title suggests, they encounter a minefield.
Oh.
What? What?
I swear to God, I didn't understand the title. I'm like a bitch. I was thinking like mine, like Armie Hammer's mine.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armie Hammer calendar you got me is mine.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. They encounter a minefield, and Armie Hammer steps on a mine, right directly on it.
A little 127 hours action?
A little bit, yeah. And I before you judge it, let me say it. The entire film almost is him sitting or kneeling on a landmine.
I know.
And it's all about him. There's some existential stuff going on.
That's my favorite.
Some flashbacks, and also, I guess you can call it desert heat mirages and things like that.
I love a mirage.
And I can see how some people would think it's very boring. It's like for the most part, a single character, single location movie.
I love that. And I did, like I said, I came in now a little bit and I was like, oh, there's Army. Very relaxing for when you're napping to wake up, see his little face, even though he looks stressed a lot. But I'm excited to sit and watch it. Because I really think he's an underrated actor. Like
I do too.
People, oh boy. People think he's like, that was the whole thing for a while. But anyway.
Yeah.
And I think he's so talented. So I'm actually really excited. Because also I think he's really like excited about acting, which I think you know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah. And I thought the movie was fairly good. It gets into some slightly cliched stuff in some of the flashbacks, and so it doesn't totally nail every part of it, but it's still a pretty impressive single location film. And as I was saying, I think I told Chloe over text, Armie Hammer is so entertaining in this. Like truly. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of his. He's just really fun in this.
Henry, we're part of the army.
Yeah. And he keeps it. I mean, there is comedy to it, like genuine comedy, but also some very serious moments. And so I thought he really carried it very well, and which is not easy to do with this kind of film because it is pretty much reliant on you to be successful.
Love it.
So I thought it was fairly good for a cool little indie war film. And then I did rewatch Austin Powers and Goldmember as well, which is on Netflix, and it's a fun time. It's it's very, very goofy. One thing though, and I had always thought it, Beyonce is so good in this. She's so charismatic, and she just seems like she's having so much fun doing it.
She's Beyonce.
She was very good in it.
Dreamgirls.
Yeah. And then lastly, just kind of spur of the moment, I watched the Robin Hood remake from a couple years ago, starring Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx. Yeah. This is very much in the vein of King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Course.
Like it's
there
a very
was a lot
modern.
Of it at that time, there was that whatever his name.
Ben-Hur remake. Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, that. But
there was,
what's that guy's name? Shoot, whatever. It doesn't matter. Sorry, everybody. There were a lot of, at the time that Robin Hood movie came out, there were a lot of like medieval, semi-magic kind of things. You know, Tilda Swinton is the voice in Uncut Gems.
Yes, I caught that. I was like, that's just so Tilda.
Wild. So Tilda. Pop
Hashtag
up.
so Tilda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the movie is
Tilda.
very much a modernized, stylized Robin Hood retelling or reimagining. And this movie, even though a lot of them are not good, I always want to like them. I like King Arthur. That's probably the best.
I know.
I hated it at first, but now
I know.
It's the best film that's ever been made.
Sorry.
This movie is not very good. I was very disappointed. I had heard very bad things, and it flopped at the box office too. So I was not like thinking it would be amazing. I was just hoping it would be.
Yeah.
But it's, as you were saying earlier with The Girl in the Spider's Web, not to say that films before that were failed, but they try to revamp these films or these stories so often, and I just don't see how they continually get it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would be able to do an amazing job with all these projects, but like I don't know, because again, these films aren't making money.
Yeah.
They're flopping. I don't see why they continue to make them. I hope they do. I hope they keep making them. But they just need to be done better.
Yeah.
And it has a few decent action sequences, but it's probably a mix between King Arthur and Assassin's Creed. It's got some Assassin's Creed vibes, which is okay. But it's so frantic and becomes pretty incoherent after a while. Oh, and it has Jamie Dornan in it as well.
Is he the king? Is he James? No, not James. The baddie.
No.
He's no kings? Is he the sheriff?
No. Oh, Ben Mendelsohn.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. He's the sheriff of Nottingham.
God, I gotta watch. Okay, well, I've seen Star Wars. It's the same character. Never mind. I'm good.
It essentially is. No. Honestly.
No.
And it just gets the worst thing about it. So the end scene is Jamie Dornan and Jamie Foxx, and it is so obvious they're trying to set up a like cinematic universe. It's like the kind of like post credits Marvel scene where two characters are meeting and they're like, oh, you know, that's what the next movie is going to be, and it's so lazy and uninteresting. And it's like you really expect this movie to launch this massive franchise, and so it feels very sequel bait, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed too, as well.
Which,
no pun intended.
which I hope that gets made, but
nah.
It's very very incoherent after a while. I would not be able to tell you what relationships work or how they fit together. Sure. So a bit of a disappointment. Has a few moments. But this is definitely, hate to say it, Taryn, this is lesser work for you. I love you in Rocket Man, but
Jamie
this was a
Bellamy,
stinker.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for me.
Well, speaking of Army Hammer, I went back and watched Mirror Mirror.
Oh,
as underrated as ever. It's real Penelope for me.
That's what I've been wanting to rewatch. It's been a long time. If you want a lazy
Sunday, you better put in Mirror Mirror, and then you better stick in Penelope. Wow, that is a fairy tale duo. Yeah, the movie's super underrated. Okay, I don't really love, what's her name? Nepotism.
Julia?
No. I love Julia Roberts. Lily. Too many famous Lilies. What's her name?
Collins?
Her dad's thank you. Phil Collins. Yeah. Lily Collins. I don't love her, I must say, in basically anything. But other than that was great. Love Julia Roberts. Love Armie Hammer. Thought they were very strong. Sweet. Good story. Changed enough. The visuals are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous,
It's directed by Tarsum Singh, is it? Tarsum? Yeah. Sure.
Gorgeous. Love it. So yeah, and it's not too long, wonderful. So I love that. It's very
better than the other. Would this be, of all the live action films like this, would this be the better of the ones you've seen? Like the fantasy, like Snow White and the Huntsman, Maleficent, Maleficent, things like that. Is Mirror Mirror towards the top?
Oh, don't let Wilkie know, but definitely Mirror Mirror is just more my deal than Maleficent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if they had that original cut, I'd feel differently. But give me some Peter Capaldi and we can talk. But nah, Mirror Mirror. It's just like sweet and it looks so good and like it's a simple story, Beautiful. And also Armie Hammer. So what can you do?
Oh yeah.
Love him so much. He has had such an interesting career. Like it's just failure after failure. He's like, it's almost like he's like too perfect for a leading man. It's like, and then he becomes millennial leading man and Call Me by Your Name and all bets are off. Same with Timothée Chalamet, millennial leading man. Not that he had the same. Armie Hammer's had a fascinating career. Okay. Anyway.
Lone Ranger.
Classic. He just won't. I love it. But yeah, what else have I watched? Oh yeah, Schitt's Creek. Thank you, Gemma. I know it's been the show, but I just could not get Dirt Turns Into. I couldn't get past their whininess in the first time. And Gemma has talked about it for years and years, and she's watched it over 6 times, and she was like, "Please, come on, let's do it." And then I was like, "Oh my god, a whole new so unbelievable." Ted, I love you, Ted. Ted is everything. I love all of them. Alexis is probably my favorite character. They're all amazing.
Yes. Speaking of that, especially for a show like this, that actress is what's her name? I can't think of it.
Annie Murphy.
Yes.
It's her first role.
Yeah.
She was living in her car.
Yeah, her performance is so nuanced.
It's so good.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
If I had to pick out one of my favorite performances from TV of the recent years, she would be towards the top.
I know.
She makes that character so unique.
Absolutely. And she and Dan Levy have like all the same, you know how it is with like siblings, the same mannerisms. Like she and Dan Levy have mastered that.
Yeah.
And it's so
but like
gorgeous.
Not only like her facial like twitches and nuances, but like even just like, it sounds weird, but like what she does with her hands
it's true,
in the show, it's stuff like that it feels new every time, and it's so memorable, and she makes that character something that it might not be as good on the page, but she really not say that the writing is bad, but just she makes that character something that you would not expect at all from this kind of show.
Good. Dan Levy's an incredible human.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree. That show's great.
Yeah. And his dad is just so sweet. Like Catherine O'Hara's back in the mix. We got like, oh my gosh, it's just like these sweet. Just get if you're like me and you're like, I can't deal with rich people problems. Like that's kind of the point of the show, but also not really. Like it's so non-judgmental. It's just like the most beautiful. Just please, just for please, goodness, please, just watch it, everybody. It's so beauteous. I just can't even deal with it, and it's so sweet. Like, there aren't any bad guys. You know me. I don't like a villain. No villains. Just everybody's just growing and living their best lives. And it's sweet and funny. So funny. Amazing. And also, this one's a left field. I've been watching, as it were, kind of more background stuff. Big Mouth, which is absolutely not my deal. But I just like love. There's like all my favorite comedians. I just like need it in my life. Like and every time I'm like, I can't deal with this. Like this is so annoying. It's just like too funny. Like they just know. Yeah. They just call. When every time I'm like, they're just like, let me make the funniest joke of all time. Oh, got you back. Beautiful. Like
I've seen one season and I love it.
Yeah, it's just like so not relatable for me. I don't know. We've been over this before. I'm just like, weird, I guess. But I was on crutches all through middle school. I was over there cup stacking. I didn't have any of this.
Not to be too telling or not that it was that extreme, but I definitely had those like middle school, high school boy years.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you aren't thinking about anything else. It's just this kind of crude, very boyish way of acting, and similar to almost like Superbad. How they get how high school boys or middle school boys talk. Mm-hmm. This show does that in its own way as well.
Yeah. Oh my God, so Jewy. Oh my God, sorry everyone. Big Mouth is just like a bunch of. That's the other thing. I love it. I love Nick Kroll. Like I love Nick Kroll. Fabrice Comedy Bang Bang is my life. But yeah, I love Nick Kroll. So I really like the show. Yeah, and it's like the OG Pen 15. So there, I don't really like Pen 15, but I like Big Mouth more, even though it's totally not my deal. But it's so funny and it's very sweet, And I just love. It's like very self-aware, which is what makes it work. Like,
very, yeah.
It's so good. But yeah. Also, I've said this before. Like, I didn't rewatch it this week, but like, if you still haven't watched Middleditch and Schwartz, please get on it. Benny Schwartz is my favorite, absolutely favorite. He seems like the best, next to you, Henry, of course, seems like the best person in the world. And I love Thomas Middleditch, so better do that. Yes. All right. I'm sure I'm forgetting things, but I'll get to them next time. Watching Maniac, like I said.
Yeah.
Just watched the first episode that I haven't seen before. Because again, it's my Citizen Kane. So I've seen the first 2 episodes like 9 times.
Wow.
Because I just can't, but I want to. But now we're doing it.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, I guess that about does it for the show.
Wow. Looking forward to Space Force. I don't care what anyone says.
I have not watched
it yet. Amazing.
Yeah.
Benny Schwartz is in it. So like,
oh really?
My life is made. Yeah. But we're gonna watch it after we finish Santa Clarita Diet. So.
Oh, nice. So next week on the show, I told Chloe about it. I don't want to say it on the show just yet because I'm not sure if it's going to happen. But we could have a potentially cool guest on for next week. But it's very up in the air. So I don't want to.
Yo, if that doesn't work out, we'll get an equally cool guest in my dad or something.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So. Well, I hope it works out, but again, it's I have not heard back from this person yet, so I'm still waiting, but we'll keep you updated on, social media, all that stuff for that. And if not, we'll find, we got some good movies to talk about. We'll find something. And make sure if you haven't yet, The Music Buds and You Don't Need Anyone are 2 other shows. Please check those out if you haven't yet. And thank you to all the Music Buds support, as we've been saying, in France. Yes, thank you. Which it's just continuing to go up. I have no idea what's happening. I really don't. But the thing is, Chloe.
Yeah.
Yes, the French audience is big with Music Buds. That is not translating to Film Buds. It's only for Music Buds. Our Film Buds audience is the same geographic as it's always been.
Yeah.
It's Music Buds that's having that. I don't know exactly why, but hey, I'll take it.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah. And also in dealing with the ads, so if people find the placement of the ads frustrating, let me know, and we can always, change them to make them less intrusive or disruptive. So if you do have an issue, just let me know.
Because you don't load it, you have to say, and now we'll get to it, guys. It'll be fine.
I don't
Henry, you're great.
Thank you so much. You are too, Chloe. And also make sure to check out, as I said, my new YouTube series, Beyond the Film. It has the first episode is up, and then second episode should probably come in the next week or so.
Love it.
Yes. And Chloe, anything else you want to mention?
Yes, and that's the improv. Middleditch and Schwartz.
Yes.
No, I'm losing it clearly. Henry, you're great. Love to be.
You are too, Chloe.
Love to interact with you.
I know, Chloe. I've been, and not to say that having delayed was an issue. I was just hating not getting to talk to you. I was like,
me too.
I'm ready to talk to Chloe, and then
I know.
Delayed gratification, I guess. But
I'm
glad you're doing a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, well, yeah. Again, we hope everyone out there is staying safe. Please stay safe, and
please,
yeah, be smart. That's all we can do, I guess.
Be kind and be smart.
Yeah.
And you matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show.
Oh my god. And 9,467 as much as we did.
And we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
How long do I try?